And that makes sense. I mean, once a CISO is selected as strategy and a framework, let's presume that you either didn't inherit one that you had to use, or perhaps there was one from your predecessor that didn't really make sense. But at that point in time, you need to be in the convincing mode. You have to convince the executive leadership team to buy in. What are thoughts about how to do that to make sure that they say, yes, Samir, that makes sense. Let's go ahead and use this governance model?
Yeah, great point. I think I've seen this happen and play out when we've done M&A activities where the company we're buying has a different approach and framework, etc. What I've learned through this process is if it aligns with the industry, where you can factually say 80% of fintech startups are following this approach, right? And this is a Gartner survey, PwC survey, etc., as one approach. The second is the framework we have or the way we've adopted it is overkill, right? And we need to scale back to really focus in and meet the business and operational risks that we're faced with, and then add on layers as we mature, as we get bigger. I've seen different approaches work, but if anytime you ask for more work from a company or a team, you have to have a very good reason. And usually it's a benchmark of some sort.
So being able to refer to that then allows us to then also have an objective measurement. And if somebody is pushing back, well, why do I have to do that? Well, why are you making me do these things? Says, well, it's actually an existing framework that's industry wide or national or even internationally accepted. And so to a certain extent, it sounds like that makes it a little bit more sellable to somebody who's going to push back.
Right, exactly. The other one is explaining why. I think a lot of times early in my career as well, I would say, we have to do this just because everyone else is doing it, right? Versus, and that might be a good starting point. You have to kind of position it to why this is important, why us speaking the same language, having the same framework to play off of, and defining ownership. Not to say it's all on you. Like it could be you're responsible, I'm accountable. This is who's consulted. It gives a sense of partnership, right? And sometimes I've noticed that by having the pre meetings with the board member, with the executive team, explaining them, getting them on your side. And if you don't get them on your side, then you have a different kind of set of discussion items, right? But when you get them on your side, it makes it much easier to have that dialogue of that change. Because for me, it's change management. Change is hard. Just any company, doesn't matter if you go to the CEO and get him to buy in, but getting more people to buy in to the change is always better.